A bike doesn't have to be expensive for it to be reliable. In fact, there are tons of amazing motorcycles out there that come with a pretty cheap price tag. Unfortunately, almost no one wants these bikes, but they're totally missing out. Here are 20 super affordable motorcycles that will last you a lifetime. Number 20, Yamaha XT250. Some motorcycles scream for attention. The Yamaha X250 isn't one of them. It's the kind of bike that doesn't make headlines, doesn't dominate sales charts, and doesn't try to impress with fancy tech. But what it does do is last forever. Priced at around $5,500, the XT250 is a dual-sport motorcycle that can handle just about anything. The 249cc air-cooled single-cylinder engine is as basic as it gets, which means almost nothing can go wrong with it. No radiators to leak, no complex electronics, just a simple old-school motor that will keep running as long as you take care of it. With its lightweight chassis and low seat height, the XT250 is easy to ride. Whether you're navigating city streets or tackling off-road trails, it might not have the high-speed capability of larger dual sports, but it makes up for it with bulletproof reliability and incredible fuel efficiency. Number 19, Suzuki Bergman 400. Most riders don't take scooters seriously, and to be fair, some of them aren't built to last, but the Suzuki Bergman 400 is different. It's a fully capable highway cruiser disguised as a scooter, and at $8,000, it's one of the most practical two-wheelers money can buy. The 390cc liquid-cooled single-cylinder engine is smooth, efficient, and practically indestructible. It has enough power to comfortably cruise at highway speeds, which is rare for a scooter. The automatic transmission makes it effortless to ride, and the massive underseat storage means you can actually use it for serious commuting or grocery runs. A lot of riders don't really like the idea of owning a scooter instead of an actual bike, so the Bergman doesn't get the attention it deserves, but this is a huge mistake considering how versatile it is. So if you want something that's comfortable, easy to maintain, and built to last, the Bergman 400 is a hidden gem. Number 18, Yamaha TW200. At first glance, the Yamaha TW200 looks like it belongs more in a cartoon than on the road. With its chunky tires and small 196cc engine, it's definitely not the kind of bike most people rush to buy. But if you're looking for something that's simple, tough, and impossible to destroy, this might be one of the most reliable motorcycles ever made. For $5,000, the TW200 gives you a low seat height, a ridiculously easy-to-ride chassis, and an engine that's been around for decades with almost no changes. Yamaha kept this bike basic on purpose. No fancy electronics, no high-maintenance parts, just an air-cooled motor that will run forever as long as you give it oil and gas. It's slow, sure, but that's part of the charm. It's one of the best beginner bikes around, yet it's also a favorite among veteran riders who just want something fun to mess around with. And thanks to those fat tires, it's surprisingly capable off-road, making it a perfect choice for camping trips, beach rides, or just exploring the open road. Number 17, Yamaha V-Star 250. If you're looking for a small cruiser that will never break down, the Yamaha V-Star 250 is about as bulletproof as it gets. At $4,700, it's one of the most affordable brand new motorcycles you can buy, yet people often skip right past it. Maybe it's because they assume a 250cc cruiser doesn't have enough power, or maybe it's just overshadowed by bigger V-twin bikes. But if you give this one a chance, it might surprise you. The 249cc air-cooled V-twin engine is simple, reliable, and incredibly easy to maintain. It's not a super fast bike, but it delivers smooth torque and a real cruiser feel in a lightweight package. And because it weighs only 324 pounds, it's one of the easiest cruisers to handle, especially for new riders or people who want something nimble. Number 16, Honda Rebel 300. The Honda Rebel 300 is one of those bikes that never really gets old. At around $4,800, it's priced as a beginner-friendly cruiser, but it's so well built that plenty of riders hold on to theirs long after they've outgrown it. Under the retro-styled bodywork sits a 286cc liquid-cooled single-cylinder engine, the same one used in Honda's sportier CBR 300R. The bike is fuel-efficient, torquey, and practically indestructible. Honda designed the Rebel 300 to be as easy to ride as possible, with a low seat height, lightweight frame, and smooth power delivery. Unfortunately, the bike isn't popular probably because it doesn't have the flash of bigger cruisers. Some riders assume they need a 500cc or 1000cc bike to ride seriously. But the truth is, the Rebel 300 is more than enough for city riding, back roads, and even some light highway cruising. Number 15, Suzuki GSX 250R ABS. Sports bikes usually get a reputation for being high-strung and high-maintenance, But the Suzuki GSX 250R ABS is built differently. The motorcycle was designed to be reliable, efficient, and fun to ride every single day. And for $5,000, it's also one of the most affordable sport bikes on the market. Powering the GSX 250R ABS is a 248cc parallel twin engine that is tuned more for smooth, predictable power than outright speed. This makes it perfect for commuting, weekend rides, or even beginner rides who want a sport bike without the intimidation factor. The ergonomics are comfortable, meaning you won't feel like you're being folded in half every time you ride, and the ABS brakes add an extra layer of safety. Number 14. KTM 390 Adventure. Most adventure bikes are big, expensive, and overcomplicated. The KTM 390 Adventure flips the script, delivering real off-road capability, bulletproof engineering, and modern technology for $7,500. At its heart is a 373cc single-cylinder engine that's been tested across some of the toughest conditions in the world. The 390 Adventure is powerful enough to cruise at highway speeds, but light enough to handle dirt trails without feeling like a tank. The long travel suspension, upright ergonomics, and lightweight frame make it an absolute blast to ride, whether you're on pavement or rough back roads. Yet, despite being one of the best small adventure bikes around, it doesn't sell in huge numbers. Why? Because some riders think an ADV bike has to be big and heavy to be real. But here's the truth. Most people don't need a 1,000cc behemoth for adventure riding. The 390 Adventure proves that a smaller bike can be just as capable and way easier to live with. Number 13. KTM 250 Duke. For some reason, people overlook the KTM 250 Duke in favor of its bigger sibling, the 390 Duke. But at $4,600, this little street fighter offers all the aggressive styling, sharp handling, and durability of the 390, just in a slightly smaller package. It is powered by a 248cc single-cylinder engine, which means it's light, responsive, and perfect for urban riding. The trellis frame, WP suspension, and premium brakes make it feel like a much higher-end bike than its price suggests. And because it's a KTM, you can expect it to be tough as nails, with an engine that will keep running as long as you take care of basic maintenance. The 250 Duke is ridiculously fun and way more affordable than other bikes in its class. Number 12. Triumph Speed 400. The Triumph Speed 400 is one of the best budget-friendly motorcycles Triumph has ever made. Priced at around $5,000, it delivers classic styling, modern engineering, and the kind of reliability that makes it an instant classic. Its 398cc liquid-cooled single-cylinder engine is smooth, torquey, and designed for longevity, not just performance. The high-quality chassis, premium suspension, and lightweight design make it a joy to ride, whether you're commuting, hitting the long road, or just cruising around town. Despite all these strengths, the Speed 400 often gets overshadowed by bigger Triumphs. Riders see it as the entry-level option and assume they need something bigger, but the truth is, this bike is more than capable enough for most riders. Number 11. Honda CB500F. If you've overlooked a Honda CB500F, then you've made a huge mistake because this bike is one of the most reliable Hondas ever built. Priced at $6,800, it's one of the best value middleweight bikes out there. Powering the CB500F is a 471cc parallel twin engine that delivers strong low-end torque and smooth power delivery. The motorcycle is not super fast because it wasn't exactly designed to be. Instead, it was designed to be an everyday ride that just works. The CB500F, unfortunately, didn't become very popular because it doesn't have the flashy reputation of bigger naked bikes like the Yamaha MT-07 or KTM Duke 790. But here's the thing. While other bikes are in the shop for repairs, the CB500F will still be out on the road, taking you wherever you want to go. Number 10. Suzuki DR650S. Suzuki started the DR650S lineup back in 1990, and since then, the motorcycle has been one of the strongest to ever come from the brand. On top of that, Suzuki has barely changed anything about the bike because they got it right the first time. The DR650S comes with a price tag of $7,000, which is so little considering that it features a 640cc air-cooled single-cylinder engine that is simple, tough, and can take an absolute beating. Not just that, this bike isn't just trying to be a high-tech adventure machine. It's built to go anywhere, survive anything, and keep running with the bare minimum of maintenance. Whether you're riding through the city or tackling rough dirt trails, the DR650S just shrugs and keeps going. Over the years, however, the DR650S hasn't done very well in terms of sales, as many riders feel it's not fancy. Apart from that, it doesn't have ride modes, traction control, or even fuel injection. It's simply a throwback to when bikes were built to last, not impress. Number 9. Royal Enfield Himalayan 450. Royal Enfield doesn't always get the respect it deserves, but the Himalayan 450 is proof that the brand is serious about making reliable, go-anywhere motorcycles. Priced at around $5,900, this bike offers an insane amount of value for the price. It comes with a 452cc single-cylinder liquid-cooled engine, a big upgrade from the older Himalayan models. The chassis is built to handle rough terrain without feeling bulky, and with long-travel suspension, spoked wheels, and a comfortable riding position, it's a proper adventure machine. Even with all these specs, you'll hardly find people riding it, mostly because Royal Enfield still carries the stigma of being a budget brand. That's a big mistake considering how amazing this bike is. Number 8. Honda XR650L. The Honda XR650L has been around forever, and there's a reason Honda hasn't really changed it in decades. There's nothing to change. For a price of $7,000, you're getting a motorcycle that's as close to indestructible as it gets. Its 640cc air-cooled single-cylinder engine is just about as simple as motorcycle engines get. No liquid cooling, no high-tech electronics, just a raw, unkillable power plant that will keep running with the most basic maintenance. The long-travel suspension and high-ground clearance make it one of the most capable dual sports off-road. Yet it's also surprisingly comfortable on the road. So why doesn't everyone own one? Because it's old school, doesn't have the modern touches of newer adventure bikes, and some riders dismiss it as being too outdated. However, while modern bikes get more complicated and expensive, the XR650L stays the same and keeps proving why it's still around. Number 7. Suzuki SV650. The Suzuki SV650 has been around for decades because it's practically indestructible. Yet, for some reason, it still doesn't get as much attention as other middleweight bikes. Maybe it's because it doesn't come with flashy new tech, or maybe people just don't realize how good this bike really is. But for a price of around $7,400, you're getting one of the most durable and reliable motorcycles ever built. At its heart is a 645cc V-twin engine, a design that Suzuki has perfected over the years. It delivers a nice balance of power, smooth enough for new riders, but punchy enough to keep experienced ones entertained. Unlike some other bikes in its class, the SV650 doesn't demand constant high revs to feel fun. It has great low-end torque, making it a solid choice for both city riding and highway cruising. Number 6. Honda CB300R. If you walk into a Honda dealership looking for a beginner-friendly street bike, chances are the salesperson will point you toward the Rebel 500 or the CBR 500R. But hiding in the lineup is the Honda CB300R, a $5,000 naked bike that doesn't get nearly as much attention as it deserves. Under the sleek bodywork, it's powered by a 286cc single-cylinder engine, the same one used in the CBR 300R. But because the CB300R is so lightweight, only 317 pounds, it feels a lot quicker than you'd expect from a small engine. The upright seating position makes it more comfortable than a full sport bike, and the minimalist design means fewer parts to break down over time. Unfortunately, most people don't want the CB300R because it doesn't have an obvious hook. It's not a retro bike, it's not a full sport bike, and it doesn't have the cruiser appeal of the Rebel series. But that's what actually makes it great. It's just a simple, reliable, easy-to-ride motorcycle that will last for years with barely any maintenance. Number 5. Kawasaki KLX 300. Dual sport bikes are meant to be rugged, but the Kawasaki KLX 300 takes that durability to another level. For a price around $6,400, you get a bike that can handle dirt trails, city streets, and everything in between, all while being nearly impossible to break. The 292 liquid-cooled single-cylinder engine isn't the most powerful in its class, but it's smooth, predictable, and ridiculously fuel-efficient. More importantly, it's designed to take abuse. You could drop this bike on a rocky trail 100 times and it would still fire up without a problem. The long travel suspension makes off-roading a breeze, but it's also comfortable enough for daily street riding. Despite all of this, the KLX 300 doesn't get the attention it deserves. Many riders go straight for the bigger KLR 650 or opt for something more aggressive like a KTM, leaving this one overlooked. But if you're looking for a dual sport bike that's simple, reliable, and ready for anything, the KLX 300 is one of the toughest bikes Kawasaki has ever built. Number 4. Royal Enfield Classic 350. Nowadays, riders are used to high-tech, high-revving motorcycles, but the Royal Enfield Classic 350 is one of those bikes that takes you back in time. It's slow, it's simple, and it's built to last longer than most riders will own it. For a price around $5,000, it's one of the most affordable retro-style motorcycles on the market. The 349cc air-cooled single-cylinder engine is about as low stress as it gets. With only 20 horsepower, it's not going to win any races, but it wasn't designed for speed. It was designed for durability. Fewer moving parts means fewer things to break, and that's why Royal Enfields have been running for decades in some of the toughest conditions in the world. The steel frame, vintage styling, and comfortable seating position make it feel like a true classic. And thanks to modern fuel injection, it runs smoother and more efficiently than older models. People might overlook the classic 350 because of its modest specs, but for those who appreciate simplicity and long-term reliability, it's an unbeatable choice. Number 3. Kawasaki Eliminator. Cruisers are usually either super large or very small beginner bikes that you outgrow in months, but the Kawasaki Eliminator offers a perfect middle ground. This bike is designed to provide a smooth ride, great handling, and an engine that's built to last, all for $6,600. Under the tank, you'll find a 451cc parallel twin engine, the same one used in the Ninja 500, meaning it's way more refined than most cruiser engines in this class. It's smooth, torquey, and doesn't struggle when pushed at highway speeds. The lightweight frame and low seat height make it comfortable and easy to handle, whether you're a beginner or an experienced rider looking for something laid back. Number 2. Honda NC750X. The Honda NC750X is the kind of bike that doesn't generate much excitement until you realize just how practical and reliable it is. Priced at $9,500, it is a long-distance workhorse that is fuel-efficient, rarely needs repairs, and can handle both city and highway riding with ease. The NC750X comes with a 745cc parallel twin engine tuned for low-end torque and fuel efficiency, meaning you don't have to rev it high to get usable power. This makes it one of the most fuel-efficient motorcycles in its class, perfect for riders who want to cover serious miles without spending a fortune on gas. One of the coolest features is the storage compartment where the gas tank would normally be. It's big enough to fit a full-face helmet, making this one of the most practical motorcycles ever built. Despite its reliability and versatility, the NC750X often gets ignored because it's not a high-performance machine. But if you're looking for a bike that will last for years with minimal maintenance, this one is a no-brainer. Number 1. Kawasaki Ninja 500. The Kawasaki Ninja 500 has been overlooked for years, and that's a shame because it's one of the best all-around motorcycles you can buy. With a price of $6,300, it sits between entry-level and high-performance sport bikes, making it a perfect balance of power, comfort, and durability. Powering the Ninja 500 is a 451cc parallel twin engine, tuned for smooth, usable power across the rev range. It has enough punch to handle highway speeds effortlessly, but it isn't so aggressive that it becomes overwhelming. The ergonomics are surprisingly comfortable, meaning you can ride for hours without feeling cramped. Despite all of this, the Ninja 500 often gets overlooked in favor of bigger sport bikes like the Ninja 650 or ZX6R. But if you want a mid-size Ninja that won't break down, won't drain your bank account, and will last for years with basic maintenance, this is one of the smartest choices out there. So, which one of these bikes will you try out? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more amazing videos of your favorite motorcycles.